Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to another edition of the NXTPRO show. Your boys are back. Self Corban. We got Shanku as always. Another fire episode. We got a lot going on, a lot of different people on today, some very special guests. It's going to be a fun one. Can't wait to really get into it. But first, Shanku, how you doing? How was your weekend out on the circuit?
Absolutely. So we got a lot to unpack. Obviously, episode 4. A lot of four locations for session 2. I was at Monroe, Louisiana. I know you were in Omaha, Nebraska, but we'll definitely cover those as well as Grand Rapids. And also we had our first girls event down in Bryan, Texas. So definitely a lot to unpack, and I think we should get right into it.
Yeah, we'll talk more about where we were and our stops and stuff as we get further into the show. But yeah, Shanku, let's start bringing in guests. Let's start this party popping.
Yeah, I think we should start with the top 10 plays of the week.
You know we got to do it.
Let's do it. So at number 10, starting the session off, is Paul Webb of EAD Dallas Black, 17U. Goes behind the back doing a little Jamal Crawford impression.
Ooh, okay.
Transition bucket. That's saucy.
Got the goaltend too? Okay. Number 9. Got Chris Thompson Moore. Got the defender falling. Listen, I'm gonna let y'all be the judge on how he made him fall. But he got the defender fall and hit the jumper. And listen, Circle City shooters, they were impressive all weekend. Great activity.
Yeah. Number 8, we're going to the girls event in Bryan, Texas. Brooklyn Henderson of DJW Crush. Loser defender with the spin. Disappear completely out of the frame.
That's nice. Number 7, we got Kingston Jarrell. Got him with the poster of developing character. Listen, don't fly with me. I mean, that's all I got to say. Pretty simple, 2 hands, but it's effective.
Next up, we got Donovan Fonville for the KC Spurs 16U with the steal and the jam on his head. And he lets him know. It was on his head.
No. Yeah, I'm just ducking. I'm under, turning my head.
I'm not jumping.
Nah. Number 5, Joshua Wilson. Whoa. What? Yeah. Okay. The standing poster and the stare down. That's my thing. Don't stare me down. Don't stare me down. I get it. I got dunked on. But that was nice.
At number 4, we got Benji Nelson for Nebraska Hoops Elite. Serves the facial and stares him down. He was doing this all last year. Tons of posters, and he's back at it again this year.
That's nice. Number 3, got Micah Powell. Drop once, drop twice, hit the step back. You got to love that. See it first time. Okay, went one way, went the other way. The second time was a little worse because he wasn't there. But listen, that was a good play.
At number 2, we got a 12-year-old girl, Kinley Abdullah, goes between the legs for the lay. That's tough. 12 years old, man.
Whoa,
that's impressive.
That's nice.
For sure.
That's nice. Okay, I see you. Number 1, we got Talon Rideau. Pretty sure I'm saying that right. Over there, overtime. You just got to score up, shoot the 3 for the win. Like, that's the calmest game when I've seen in a minute. Yeah. It seemed like he was trying to go into an action, said, nah, I'm good. Take it back out. What the heck? Let's square up and knock down the 3. That's a tough game winner. And that's apparently what he does.
Yeah, for sure.
There you go. That's our top 10. We had a few submissions. Like I said, keep them coming. We'll keep looking at them. A lot of fun plays. But that was fun. That was fun.
Yeah, we got a lot of high-level basketball coming up this week in California. So
yeah, we do.
Those submissions on Twitter, #NextPro Top 10. But Corban, I think we're ready to jump into our first interview with our first special guest. We've got out of Las Vegas, Nevada, 7-foot big man, Xavion Staton. Xavion, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
Good. Hey, what's going on?
Happy to have you, yeah.
Oh, of course. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. So you were at the USA Basketball Junior National Team minicamp this past week for 4 days, I believe. So talk to us about your experience with that minicamp and what are some of your takeaways?
Man, I mean, it was a lot of high-level basketball. I had a lot of fun doing it. It was definitely a great experience. I've been one other time. I feel like every time you go, it just gets more and more fun, more competitive. We got to play on the Final Four court. That was a huge thing. Getting to see that. I think just biggest takeaways. I mean, I've just, grown as a player, as a person. Got to play as a team with other guys that I usually don't play with. It was great.
For sure.
That is awesome. I think speaking of kind of like your experience, you said you've grown as a player, and that's always a cool thing to see for any player, adding skills, refining. But we know that, you were with Pro 16 last year. Kind of as part of this growth, can you describe your experience with Pro 16, how that was, kind of what you learned to kind of take away into where you are now?
Well, it was kind of the biggest, place where I kind of blew up in a sense at first. It was my first AAU season, and I kind of fell in love with it. So I was like, what's a better place than to come back? So I felt like that was what I needed to do, and I'm excited to do it again. Continue to play on this season with BTI now. I think it's going to be a fun summer. I'm ready to grow. I think my game has grown a lot more since last Pro 16, so it's going to be a fun one.
Absolutely. So like you just mentioned, you're playing with BTI United, obviously different threads this year. What are some of your goals, expectations, and maybe areas of improvement in terms of your game and also as an organization?
I mean, as me personally, I want to just get better at, defense, not necessarily, me blocking shots, but just, guarding on the perimeter. I feel like that's going to translate a lot to the next level. As an organization, everybody wants to win. So I think we have a really good shot at it. So that's a big goal.
You guys got a squad for sure.
Yes.
I love that. So kind of going off of basically you coming back, doing all of this, like on the side of that, you still have recruitment going on. You still have different things, different interests. Can you kind of share a little bit more about the recruitment experience, any interests you've had so far, just kind of your process in that? Because obviously this is a busy time for you, and I'm sure there's a lot going on noise-wise there.
Yes, definitely noise-wise. It's a lot. It's blessings, but it's noise-wise. It's a lot. There's a lot of coaches reaching out, which is all a blessing. I'm grateful. It's a huge process. It's kind of like a daily thing. You're trying to pick what school. It's a huge decision. And just narrowing down. I'm getting to know coaches. I'm getting to know schools. Going to watching March Madness. That has been a huge thing.
Wow.
So yeah, the recruitment, it's been blowing up a lot, especially with me just going to Team USA. It's definitely continuing to be on the uprise.
For sure. I don't know what you can or can't share, but are there any schools that are pursuing you harder than others? Or what are your top? Do you have maybe a short list or a long list?
I don't think I really have a list, to be honest. It's a multitude of offers. I'm just enjoying coaches. There's many that are pursuing heavy. Hometown. Then there's many other schools. It's huge. There's a lot of them that are just multitude, but yeah.
I get that for sure. So I know this is kind of a question that we kind of wait till the end. I mean, in this case, obviously you've been on the rise, and we want to kind of, obviously get your name out, get people to know. But for those of us who are, tuning in, who aren't familiar with your game, kind of like how you go about taking care of your business on the court, can you kind of share a little bit about like your style of play? If there's a player comp, anything about your game for the uninitiated.
I love lobs. Yeah, lob threat. I love, and I'm gonna shout out to Nick. I know he can throw some lobs. So that's gonna be fun. But lob threat. I love the block shots. I love defense. I find that a lot of fun. Kind of sidetrack, but I played volleyball, so I kind of envision that with defense. Block shots, things like that. So it definitely is there. I love the post. I started to develop a little bit of a 3-point. So
okay, we look forward to seeing that for sure. I'm at this point. You mentioned volleyball, so I need a volleyball basketball spike.
Yeah, I got you.
I appreciate you.
So you talked a little bit about playing at the next level, but looking forward even beyond that, what are some of your goals career-wise?
So I think at this point I can safely say that I want to pursue like the next level pro. NBA is definitely something that I feel like is within reach with a lot of hard work and dedication for sure. But I feel like that can be something that can become in my near future. I think career-wise, I've always believed in like backups and things like that. I really like architecture. I'm a big architecture guy, so I think like interior design, things like that, that's a big career path that I like. I like designing. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's really dope. I'm gonna kind of piggyback off that question. What exactly like are you interested in terms of designing? I have no eye for that. So like when you say that, it's really cool. And I know it's a sideways basketball question, but I'm just curious.
It's like, interior design, exterior design, of either houses, buildings, things like that. I love like the background of what goes on, developing little living spaces, kitchens, anything like that. Really, it just, I don't know, it sparks something in me.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I mean, listen, this background I did over here, I felt like Martha Stewart after a week. So like, I get that for sure.
Xavion, we appreciate you coming on. Thank you for taking the time to come on and speak some insight. But you guys can catch Xavion in California this weekend and playing with BTI United. So they're going to be a tough squad to beat this year.
Let's go. Sure. We are pumped. Thank you for taking the time to come on, man. We look forward to seeing you in action.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Man, I'm pumped.
Man, that kid can go. Corban, I know you haven't watched him yet, but it was one of the biggest surprises on our circuit last year. And
really
super fun to watch, yeah.
I'm pumped. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. That's going to be a blast to see. I'm definitely, like I said, looking forward to what we got coming up here. Again, we'll preview that. We'll go into that, but I know we got a little bit more next. So where are we hopping on to now?
Absolutely. So, yeah, I think we can hop into some coverage from Monroe, Louisiana, from where I was at this weekend.
Okay.
And one guest I wanted to bring on was program director and head coach Amber Gregg from Team 94 out of Louisiana.
Love it.
Coach, how we doing?
We good. How y'all doing?
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah. Thank you for coming for sure.
You know that. I see we got number one, so I'm really, really excited about that.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to get into a little bit of your background, just for the people who are not aware of where you come from, just how you got started and how you ended up where you're at today.
So born and raised in Austin, Texas. I'm an Austinite. If nobody's been to Austin, I highly suggest you go. Played college basketball at UTSA, but I've been a grassroots kid all my life. And so when I graduated UTSA, I was lucky and got a Division I assistant job at University of Louisiana Lafayette, and then transitioned from college coaching back to AAU to the grassroots side after 6 years of being an assistant. So love what I do and love being on the boys side. It's a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun.
Sure.
That is cool, definitely. And kind of based off of your experience and you being involved now, with NXTPRO, with Puma, we know it's only been one weekend, right? But early returns, like, how has the experience been? How have you kind of enjoyed all that went into this weekend? Because I know it's a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot, but I was thoroughly surprised and impressed with how well it was ran, the competitiveness. Like, it was really, really good. And it was good for our guys to experience. And we had a great weekend.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Obviously, you guys had a great weekend. Went 8 program, 15U and 16U.
Yeah.
Lost. Obviously, you had some close games, but pulled them out. What worked well for you as a coach? What did you see on the floor? What would you like to change maybe going forward?
Well, I think it's early, right? So we're still in the transition from getting them out of the high school phase into like a little bit more competitive basketball skill set stuff. So overall, I was very, very impressed with our guys. I think we had some guys that played really, really well, competed at a very high level, and then just getting some of those kinks out, right? Chemistry, bad habits, and getting some fluidness to what we're doing now. So a couple of things I'll change. Obviously, get in better shape. I'm gonna get our guys in a little bit better shape, and I think that'll solve a lot of the issues that we had this weekend. But overall, I'm really, really impressed in how we did this weekend and how we competed, how we executed. I'm excited for the rest of the summer.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, adjustment, takeaways, and kind of.
So win is a win to me right now. I'm gonna be honest. If we can come out on top, I don't care how ugly it is. We just got to get it done.
For sure. And I just wanted to highlight a few players who I thought played really well. Taylor Rideau on the 16U team. Talk about him a little bit. What you like from him? Also, what do you see from him long term?
Super athletic, team first guy, is going to do whatever you need to be done to win. Obviously, he gets a lot of touches throughout the course of the game, but super efficient in what he does, and he's so versatile. Like, he can play every position, handle the ball, shoot the ball, finish well, and he's crazy, crazy athletic. Like, I know y'all saw him shoot in the rock, but he's crazy, insanely athletic. So he has a really, really bright future and a very, very high ceiling when it comes to his potential. But he's so, like I said, versatile and where we can put him. So we're excited about that.
Absolutely. Kind of going on from Rideau to another player, Tyree Spencer. Please, can you share a little bit more about his game? What you're excited about, what you've seen, and looking forward?
It's funny because we call him Kawhi. Like I call him Kawhi because
Okay.
his pace is so fluid and is savvy, and it's very, very methodical. He's a thinker. And so he gets to his spots, he's smooth, pick and roll, he's incredible. He can shoot the rock, and he can score at all three levels. So he's a special kid and probably the best kept secret in Louisiana when it comes to skill set. He can really flat out score the ball.
Absolutely. Jumping to your 15U team, also went 4-0. Marcus Davis is a kid who really popped out to me. Freak athlete at 6'4". What do you think about his game?
Marquez is incredible. I mean, he's a generational talent. Very young, but talk about score at three levels already. I mean, his ability to shoot the ball, his ability to finish tough, pinch post work. I mean, he's just at all three levels. The kid can score. If he keeps on the path that he's on, he'll be a pro easily. But he had an incredible weekend with some very, very top plays. He was big time for us in a lot of games down the stretch. Played a lot of minutes and was in very good shape in those minutes that he plays. But probably the most impressive thing that people were most impressed about was his defensive presence, right? He can play 94 feet on the ball. So he's special. That kid is really, really special. And I know he impressed a lot of people this weekend. With where he is, and he's only 15, right? He's a young kid. Yeah, he's a baby. So we're excited about where he's going to land this summer. Got a lot of interest from a lot of big time programs. So he's one that I think you guys should keep on your radar.
Oh, absolutely. Straight from the coach's mouth. We got it now. We got to. All right. So
football versus basketball. I know he's a stud on the football field as well. So
yes,
I think basketball is his route.
I pray so. But I think like I said, he's a generational talent. So he's one of those kids that can play both, and playing both is to his benefit. You know, it gives him a lot of exposure on both sides.
That's cool. I like that. There's a few players I've seen so far that I'm looking up. It's like, wow, like they play so well on one sport and they play two. You know, like just dribbling the ball and shooting is good enough for me. So that's really cool to have that dexterity and ability to do both, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So overall, like I said, we had a great weekend and we're excited about continuing to play and compete at the highest level that we can. I know Josh was number 5. He came in at number 5.
I think so,
Josh Wilson.
He came in at number 5, and he's actually been out all year because he had surgery on his wrist, so he's just now coming back. But talk about can compete at the highest level of athleticism. I mean, he dunked on a couple of people this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, way to announce that you're back, right?
Yeah. So overall, like I said, we had a great weekend with a lot of guys, and those 4 are just the ones that we're talking about. But we had a lot of guys that will play at the next level. And can compete at the highest level as well.
Love that for sure. Coach. We got to ask you a question. We've been asking kind of all of our coaches that we get on some general fun question, coaching, playing related. The one that's on the topic of the Next Pro show right now, though. Let's say, team 94, they up 3, the opposing team got the ball. Do you foul up 3?
Yeah, I would.
You would?
I would.
Okay.
Get the ball back. But then the tricky thing about that is they can advance depending on where the ball is. So it just depends on time and score and possession and where the ball is and where we're sitting. But I've done it before. So
okay.
I agree with it. I'll let them shoot their 1-and-1 and then get the ball back and win the game.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love it.
I get it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Coach Amber Gregg.
I appreciate you guys.
We'll be looking forward. You can catch them in Mississippi this weekend or next weekend?
This weekend. We'll be in Mississippi this weekend.
Yes. Okay. So Team 94 is a team to watch for sure.
Yeah, we'll be around for a little bit.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing it.
All right.
Thank you again.
Guys. All right.
Yes, for sure. Man, another good one.
He's fun.
Whew. Yeah, I did not know that kid was 15. I mean, it's one thing, I guess, you seeing the players, and I'm like, wow, but whoa. Yeah, definitely a lot of teams on the rise here for sure.
Definitely generational talent.
Wow.
Without a doubt.
Fun. All right, well, let's get into some coverage. I guess now that we opened the door with a great interview, and now, I mean, you were on the ground for that one, weren't you?
I mean, I was there, taking it all in. So I got to get grasp of all the players. So.
All right, well, let's do it. Let's shout out. I guess we're gonna start with 17, 16U, 17 first.
All the 4-0 teams. All the teams.
Okay.
So
let's go right into it. Yeah. Break it down. So let's start with, we got Fam Elite. Now, is that SCI? I got that right?
Yeah.
See, I'm working. I'm still a rookie on this, man. I hate it. Okay. So let's talk about Fam Elite. Obviously, you watched a lot of these teams in your expert detail. Let's start with Jalen Fenner. What did you feel about his game and kind of your takeaways from his performance?
Yeah, so Jalen Fenner was a player I knew coming in just a little bit, but I was really looking forward to seeing him, and he looked really good. He was impressive. He's 6'5", with a great frame. He's above the rim, as you can see here. Super athletic, but offensively, he's got really good feel at his position, which I thought was really impressive. Moves well, really fluid movement. Off the ball, his defense, his playmaking, using his physicality and aggressiveness to make plays on the defensive end. And, yeah, he's definitely a player to watch going forward.
Oh, nice. Yeah. No, see that for sure. I like that. Definitely. Another guy on the team, a standout, a guard in this case. Let's talk about Elijah Black.
Yeah, Elijah Black is 6'1", two-way guard. He's coming off a really good high school season. He was defensive MVP in his district, so that tells you a little bit about something. Obviously, playing in Texas, a lot of MVP says something for sure. But he moves his feet really well. He'll pick up 94 feet. He's awesome in transition, really good north-south speed. He can score from all three levels. Obviously, that's a area. His shooting is an area of development still, but he was super fun to watch and a key contributor in their success this weekend.
I like that for sure. And then one more player from Fam Elite that we kind of want to talk about here, Dylan Thompson. Apparently a really impressive big. Can you kind of describe a little bit more about his game?
Yeah, so as you saw in some of those clips, Dylan Thompson, number 23, he was playing above the rim all weekend, throwing down lobs in transition, running the more of a traditional big. He did showcase some flashes of floor spacing, in his final game, knocking down 2 threes.
Okay.
But apart from that, rim protection, rim running, really a solid interior scorer. So he's definitely an unsigned senior to take note of for college coaches at the next level.
Yeah, especially if you can kind of balance that physicality with that outside shot, right? Like,
he's got a great frame to match that for sure.
Favorite archetype of player. I love it. Yeah. Let's move on to Fam Elite Morris.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, and please forgive me if I say it wrong, Joseph Kalef,
I believe. Yeah.
Okay. See, I had to give myself some grace. Let's talk about him a little bit in his game.
Yeah. So first, just shout out to Fam Elite. Both their teams in 17U went undefeated. 4-0. So great weekend for the program. But yeah, Joseph Kalaf he's my type of player. He's a point guard. He's a pass first floor general. I really like some of the advanced reads he was making off a live dribble. Really good processing speed, decision maker. Scored from all three levels while creating for himself. And one thing that really impressed me was his handle. He doesn't do too much, but he makes the right plays. He plays at a nice pace, and he's definitely my type of player. I'm a big fan of point guards, so he was super fun to watch.
I was gonna say at some point I gotta talk to you, maybe on the show later, from like a scout's perspective, like your like type of player you gravitate to, because I definitely like that for sure. Another guy, another guard, I guess probably another guy alongside him in the backcourt, but Darren Rivera Carswell. Let's talk about him and kind of how he played, how you liked him alongside Joseph, like how'd that work?
Yeah. So Darren Rivera Carswell, he has a defensive identity, I would say, super lengthy at 6'3", plus wingspan. He was really a problem on the defensive end with his length, playing in passing lanes at the point of attack, really doing a lot for his team, forcing turnovers. But also he did showcase some shot making. But he also had one of the plays in his first game of the weekend. He had a lockdown perimeter stop, which led to the game-winning score on the other end. So he was big contributor for them.
I love it for sure. And again, like you said, if you're a defensive disruptor and can growing with that kind of game, I mean, that's nice. Offensive game, I get it. As long as it's coming around, that's really good to see. Moving on down to some 16U standouts. Let's talk about Hard Work Elites. Yeah. And let's start with Caleb Evans. I love a good shooter, and I hear he is a shooter. So let's get it.
Man, Hard Work Elite put on a show this weekend. They were pretty comfortable through first 3 games. Had a little hiccup in their final game, but they pulled it out. But Caleb Evans, in their second game of the weekend, Saturday morning, 8 a.m. game, he hit 7 threes. I mean, he was unconscious. I think he maybe took 8 or 9 threes, so missed 1 or 2. But, I mean, his pre-shot prep, he was awesome footwork. Also, he's 5'8", and it's pretty rare to see, like, elite shooters for undersized guards, but he was one of them. He was also really good in transition, pushing the ball, pushing the pace in fast break situations, good motor, good on-ball activity as well on the defensive end.
Okay. Well, sounds good. I love hearing about, like you said, shooters. And another guy, kind of shout out from that team, Antonio Dixon Jr. What's the 4-1 on this 6'3" guard?
Yeah, so AJ Dixon, he's probably the best prospect on this Hard Work Elite 16U team. He's a lengthy 6'3" guard, wing, combo guard type of situation. He's still growing. He's probably got a 6'7" wingspan. Obviously, he's playing above the rim all weekend, throwing down lobs, dunking on defenders. There he is right there with a nasty block.
Yeah.
The rim. Man, he was super fun to watch.
That is really dope. Going down to Epic Academy 16U Silver, we got Jonas Cruz, a guy who I seem to look at from the notes as a really steady guard. Can you kind of go a little bit more into his game?
Yeah, Jonas Cruz, another undersized guard, probably 5'9", 5'10", but he plays really competitively. Primary ball handler for this Epic Academy 16U Silver squad. He changes paces really well to get to his spots all over the floor. He's got really good touch from all over the floor. He can spot up as an off-ball shooter. But I think what really impressed me was his pre-shot preparation. He does a good job showing his hands, setting his feet, squaring his shoulders, just doing all the little things to get a quick shot out of his hands.
I love that. That's dope. Let's move on down to developing character. Now, listen, they won. They had a big win. Can you kind of go into what you saw there?
I mean, they were just winning big time all weekend. 33-point win margin average. And Kingston Jarrell, as we saw, he was on the top 10 list. He had a huge poster. He was awesome. Super fun to watch. Highly versatile wing at 6'4", probably. Super athletic. Really high motor. He had multiple chase down blocks in transition. He was just competing super hard on that end. But also his floor spacing is an area to track long term, as he's got a smooth lefty stroke, but it was pretty low volume. But I see some promise there for sure.
I like that. A developing game for developing character. I'm sorry. I had to. Thank you. So aside from him, let's talk about Hayden Ray.
Yeah. I mean, Hayden Ray, he sticks out like a sore eye. Watch him. He's probably 6'1", 6'2". He's built like a linebacker, though. I mean, he's a unit on the floor. He's a super physical guard. He likes to attack the rim. Super assertive finisher around the rim. Solid touch. He had some nice rim protection moments. Good athlete, size, and moves well. So he was super fun to watch as well for me.
I like that, definitely. And again, shout out to both of them for, being part of a team that as a whole took care of business in a major way, right? Speaking of another team that did just that, GSA Elite 16U, what did they do out there, Shanku?
Yeah, they also had a 32-point win margin on the weekend. They're coming off a brilliant weekend in OKC, and they carried it over to Monroe. Gage King was a player that stood out for me. He's a combo guard, can play on and off the ball. He shoots it at a high clip with deep NBA range. He can also facilitate in the half court and makes good decisions with the ball. So he'll be a key contributor for their success going forward, as well as they're 8-0 now.
There we go. Wow. They just keep winning. They just keep doing what they got to do. I love it for sure. Wow. Okay. So right off of GSA Elite 16U, another solid team. We talked about them a little bit last week. Invictus Red Storm. What do we have takeaways from them?
Yeah, so they're red team, they're A team. They went 4-0 this weekend. Sachin Krishnan, who just made the layup right there. But I really liked what I saw from Sachin. He's a point guard for this team, floor general. I like the way he controls the pace, tempo of the game. He can never be slowed down. He always knows, he understands angles well. He knows how to get to his spots. He scored from multiple levels. In transition as well, I really liked his poise. Playing with his head up, making plays for himself and his team.
That's nice. Like you said, that well-balanced heady ball game is really, really good to see for sure, especially at that young age, right? KOTC. Let's discuss them real quick, and then of course we got to hit up the team of the hour, of course, Team 94. But let's talk about KOTC real quick first.
Yeah, KOTC. They were led by, in my opinion, their best player, Christian Keys, and despite limited minutes, he was unbelievable. He's a 4-star football player. He's a probably 6'3", 6'4", guard wing kind of guy, but super athletic, bulky frame. He's super assertive at the rim, just plowing through defenders through the lane, and he really just could not be stopped all weekend.
Wow, that's dope. That is dope. And is he someone, again, inside outside? Is he more of an inside scorer? Kind of how do you see the way he gets his buckets?
He's definitely more inside. He was unstoppable, so there's no inside game when he can get whatever he wants inside.
There you go. Man, if you can stick and get what you need, like, why even try? Just do what you gotta do.
Right.
I get it. Taking care of business. And then of course, Team 94. Let's talk about them real quick. Obviously, we had great Coach Greg on to talk about them for a minute, but let's just your takeaways from what you saw as well.
Yeah. So like we mentioned earlier, Taylor Rideau, who had the game winner, he's a really unique athlete at 6'3". He moves super well, long, fluid strides as a slasher in the half court, but he can also shoot it from multiple levels. And he's got a super high defensive ceiling, lengthy guard, but can also protect the rim, guard on the perimeter. So he'll be a key factor for them.
I like that for sure. And then one other person to really kind of give some love to, obviously that whole team, when you take care of business and win the way you do, you all deserve some credit here. But Tyree Spencer, we mentioned him as well, and kind of got Coach Greg's assessment. What did you kind of see from what you watched?
Yeah. So I thought Tyree Spencer kind of fits the combo guard archetype. At 6'2", he creates for himself and others. Super selfless, makes the right plays. And like Coach mentioned, I really like the way he changed pace. Changed plays super well to get to his spots. Really high IQ guy. Understands where he needs to get to, how to create for others. So he's also super fun to watch.
That's cool. That's cool. All these teams, listen, like, way to get the job done, way to play well. Shout out to all of the players. Like, seriously, obviously having Coach Greg on, as we kind of covered, Team 94, and just the time we had to kind of break that down. Like, this is great. I'm looking forward to doing more of these, highlight more players to keep going. But as always, Shanku, you with the breakdowns, man. Like, wish I went first.
Yeah, we can get into some 15U too in Monroe.
We are. I think we have a guest on right after too. So let's get right on to it.
Let's do it.
All right, let's start with GSA Heat.
Yeah.
We got Sheldon Corban. What do you have on him?
Yeah, so I talked about Sheldon Corban last week. He went 4-0. He's carrying his team. He's carrying a heavy load on that team. But, I mean, he looks amazing. He looks like a future D1 kid, in my opinion. He was doing his thing. He took care of business. He had some clutch shot making throughout the weekend in some close games, but scored from all three levels, even had a poster, nasty poster.
Ooh, okay.
So showing off the athleticism as well.
Shout out to a poster all the time. Okay. Team 94, we back at it with the 15U. What do we have on them?
Yeah. So as we talked about, Marquez Davis, he's a special athlete. He could be – I haven't watched all 15U teams yet this year on our circuit, but I think he has a good chance to be the best long-term prospect on our circuit in 15U age division.
Wow.
At 6'4", probably 6'7", 6'8" plus wingspan, still growing. I mean, he scored from all three levels. He showed some really good processing speed and feel as a playmaker. And then in transition, obviously, he's throwing down monstrous dunks, incredible vertical pop, gets off the floor so quickly. And then, like Coach Amber said, guards 94 feet, protects the rim, and then just does a little bit of everything to impact winning.
Yeah, that's complete game on the inside, and still be growing. Like, whoo, a problem already. I can't imagine another year or so. So definitely looking forward to kind of charting that development for sure. And then let's talk about Josh Wilson as well.
Yeah, he was featured. I think he was number 5 on our top 10. But he's a 6'3". He's a really bulky guard, built like a fullback or running back kind of build. But his motor was so awesome. He plays with an edge, as you could tell, as he stared him down after that poster.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
But he's a player that will be super fun to watch going forward, especially as he recovers. As Coach Amber mentioned, he was just coming back from injury, so definitely good to watch.
And again, you love to see that edge and fire, like, just coming back. Like, it's a statement in that play. It's a statement moving forward. Like, yeah, that's dope. That's dope for sure. And then let's go to Next Play Skills Academy. Yeah. I know you got a little bit of them. What did you kind of was there a player that stood out, a takeaway? What'd you like from that?
Yeah, Next Play also had a great weekend going 4-0. They were pretty dominant themselves. 6'8" big Atreyu Crump was a player to remember. At 6'8", he's more of a traditional kind of running, rim protecting, moves well for his size, fluid mover for his size and age, really. But he's definitely a long-term guy to keep tabs on.
For sure. Well, listen, it sounds like you had a great weekend. Squad of great teams. Congrats to all those who went 4-0, 17, 16, 15. Way to get it done. Hopefully we talk about some of y'all again next week.
Yeah, for sure. I know a lot of these teams are planning to keep up their success, so
exactly. It will definitely be fun to watch and highlight some other players too. I'm looking forward to it.
100%. So, Corban, I think we got another guest, special guest.
Let's go.
Another participant at the USA Basketball Junior team minicamp. We've got out of New Orleans, Louisiana, where I was at, Chris Cenac. Chris, how we doing? Chris, I think you're muted.
Oh, we got you muted. Yeah.
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
We're good.
Good to have you on. Excited.
Yeah.
So you were at this mini camp this past week for 4 days. Talk about your experience, kind of what you took away from the weekend. Obviously, playing against some of the best prospects in the country. What did you learn, and how was your experience?
I definitely feel like I got better through those 4 days. Just seeing what I got to improve on in my game, really playing against the top players in the country. So I feel like I definitely got better, good coaches. So it was overall a great weekend for me.
Like that. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of going real quick. I asked this for other people I'm new to, but also introducing you to others. Can you describe a little bit of your game, kind of how you play? Any player comps, any inspiration, kind of just your style?
Yeah, I can say I'm a very versatile forward. I can play inside out, shoot the three, and handle the ball a little bit. So I feel like my game is very versatile.
Okay. You do a little bit of everything. Do you have like a player that you kind of model after, or a player that you look for? Like, do you take a little bit from everyone? Is there one person, like, as you're growing, you're like looking at specifically? Kind of how does that work as a player?
Kind of a mixture. I can say a mixture of like Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis.
Oh, nasty. Okay. Okay. That's my 2K build. I don't know if that's a player. Okay.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
So a lot of guys are probably unfamiliar with you that are watching this, but you just announced yesterday that you'll be running with YGC, Young Game Changers, Marcus Smart squad down in Texas. So talk about your kind of goals and expectations for this AAU season.
My goals, I just plan on like showing my skill set, getting as many wins as we can, and winning a Pro 16 championship.
Man, you're going right after it. I love it. Yeah.
Yes.
Waste no time. Why not? Let's get to it for sure. Kind of in the midst of doing all this, obviously, announcing you're joining a new team, obviously growing as a player, USA basketball, you're doing a lot. Like, how has recruitment been? Is that a process that you're just starting to get into? Have you already kind of gotten any word back? Like, what is your thoughts kind of going into that? How you kind of gauge, okay, like keeping the main thing, but also like that's a whole nother avenue to really evaluate and consider. And I mean, that's your future. So like, how do you kind of keep all of that in check as you kind of continue this process?
Well, I think my parents are a lot for that. They kind of take that weight off my shoulders.
I love it. Yeah.
They kind of like take care of all the recruitment for me, and I just focus on the main thing, playing basketball.
That's right.
That's the best right there.
That's a good mentality to have for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking beyond college, do you have any career goals long term, maybe beyond basketball or going pro?
Yeah, for sure. Playing professionally, making it to the NBA, making a name for myself in the league for a long time.
I love that. And then I got to ask you, we asked about the comp, got your goals. Just starting. Obviously, it might change. We get it. But you need a bucket, right? You got the ball. What is your go-to move to get it? Like how do you operate? How do you get that action going?
Well, honestly, I can say it's just going to depend on who's guarding me. If a big's guarding me, I'll probably take him off the dribble and go get a bucket to the basket. Or if it's a smaller guy on me, I'll post him up and, do a little hook shot or something, kind of bang him in the post.
Okay. So basically what I'm getting at is if you want a bucket, you're just going to go get a bucket.
Yeah.
He's a matchup.
Okay. That's pretty simple enough for me. I get that.
Yep.
Chris, thank you so much for coming on. You'll be in Dallas this weekend playing with YGC. So you'll be a player to watch there for sure. One of the best prospects in the country, 4-star. But
I got one last question before we let him go. No, I'm sorry, Shanku. I'm the king of asking the last question. Talk about your parents taking the lead and kind of helping with that and taking it off your shoulders is great. Obviously, you have some thoughts in terms of college, right? Like, do you have one? Obviously, it's a family decision. We get it, but is there one that you're like not even a school? Maybe like we talk about players, not specific player, archetype of players. Like instead of a school, like an archetype of a school that fits what you're looking for. As you kind of look toward the next level there.
I don't think I really have a school. I never really had a dream school. I mean, obviously everyone likes the blue bloods, but I never really had a dream school. So I can't really answer that question for you.
Oh, that's fine. Listen, we lob them up, we see, but either way, it'll be even more exciting to keep track of where you ultimately decide to go in your future there. And again, in the meantime, between time, watching the great basketball that you'll be putting on.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you. Thank you, Shanku. Sorry about that. That last catch with him cooking, I was like, oh, real quick.
Man, Chris is gonna be so fun to watch at 6'10". I mean, he's got guard-like skills, so definitely future pro maybe.
I like that for sure. I mean, listen, in the meantime, between time, a lot of watching this growth now. Like you said, like come on, a KD AD hybrid, like I said, that's my player. Like that's gonna be fun to watch and see how he comes in and really kind of develops as a player before that level even happens. So yeah, for sure, Shanku, looking forward to that.
Right. Corban, I think we can jump right into Grand Rapids session 2. We've got one of our scouts, Larry Golden, joining us.
Great one, yes.
I know you know him pretty well, but
yeah, I'm pumped to get him in here talking some hoops. Let's get Larry, literally all over when it comes to basketball. Like, yeah. How you doing, man? Good to see you.
Hey, first of all, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can.
We got you loud and clear.
Hey, man, look, man, I appreciate you guys inviting me on. I'm ready to have a little bit of fun, man. But first of all, hey, guys, you're doing a great job with the pod, man. Love the questions you guys ask, and I love getting you both do a good job of asking questions, and so the viewer can really get a chance to see who these guys are, whether that's the coaches that we're on or the players. So I'm ready, man.
Wow.
I'm ready.
Those kind of words.
I'm about to say, thank you for even thank you for that. We really appreciate that for sure. And like I said, I've known you for a bit, like Shanku, obviously all here NXTPRO, but before we get started, we ask all our first time guests, can you, share a little bit real quick about your background, kind of what got you into basketball, what kind of got you up to where you are right now? You do all the hoops.
Dude, man, basketball's always been a part of my life, man. I played in high school, played a little bit in college, not too much. It was D3 level. But I've always been a part of basketball, whether that's, all the way back to like when I was in high school, like I'll give you this, right? So there are competitors, right? There's competitors that like to match up against like, the best of the best, right? So when like I'm from Chicago, so when Shannon Brown or D Brown or Corban or all these guys come back home, like the competitors, they want to go play against them. They want to match up. I knew at a young age that like I probably wasn't that guy. I was the guy, man. I want to go see what D Brown added to his game. I wanted to see how D Brown, what is he doing now to create space? Like Rob Covington, like before he became Rocco that everybody loved in the league. Like he was a guy from where we're from that was like a KD. Like we saw a guy his size that was able to, obviously at the NBA his role is different, but he was able to go off the bounce and shoot off the bounce. Like we were like, man, we love it. I loved looking at these guys and seeing what they added to their games. And that's how I knew like I probably was going to be a coach or a scout at a young age. And I started coaching when I was 19, coached my sister's sophomore feeder team. And then I started coaching some AAU. I started coaching high school ball. I coached at Bunker Hill Community College when I was in Boston. So, man, I love this game, bro. So, this is what I'm about.
We all do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate that for sure. We love it, man. So yeah, let's get into it. Thank you for sharing that. We definitely wanted to know a little bit more about that, but let's go in. We got a bunch of teams that went 4-0 up in Grand Rapids. You had a lot of great hoops. You were active on Twitter all weekend, sharing takeaways and players. Like you were just inspiration, both you and Shanku, for me to be like, okay, I gotta be up on my too. So
crazy. Yeah, man.
I appreciate you, man.
So you doing your thing too.
Huh?
I saw you doing your thing too, for sure, on Twitter.
For real.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all. I was, like I said, trying to be like y'all. So, but no, let's start let's start 7. We'll start 15. You go up. We'll start 15. You go up. I kind of want to block in. We had 3 that went undefeated. 15. You had Toronto Select, Run as 1 NXT, and then Road to Greatness NXT.
Yeah.
Let's kind of dive into those teams. What were your takeaways? We can start with whichever one you want to start in that bracket, but kind of want to throw these teams out to you, kind of get any players, any takeaways that you really observed that you kind of want to share with us and the viewers.
Yeah, so let's start with Road to Greatness.
Sound good?
Road to Greatness is your prototypical young Chicago team. Like they're all tough. They're tough kids. Brandon Boykin, he was their point guard, and they had a couple guards that are just really tough. They get into your dribble. They do a good job of just kind of, just tough Chicago team, man. They get into your dribble. They turn you over. They create easy offense. They're really good off the bounce. And so there are a couple kids that stood out from this team. I just like with this team, there were a couple. It was a bunch of guys that I thought played really well. Nobody really separated themselves from each other. I thought they all did a pretty good job. So I'll point out a couple guys. So Brandon Boykin, he was somebody I thought that was really good off the bounce. When he caught the ball, he was able to use his explosive first step, get into the paint, and create for his teammates. I thought Eli Phillips was pretty good at just shooting the ball. He could really shoot the ball. And everybody else kind of really fit in well around those guys, whether it was, space on the floor and kind of attacking off the bounce and getting into the paint, finishing at the rim, or I was really surprised at how well they were making the extra pass and doing those types of things, right? So I was really impressed with those guys, especially for them to go 4-0. And they didn't really have that much size like the rest of these teams. So I was really impressed with them.
That's cool. That's cool for sure. No, I appreciate you kind of giving some insight on them. 15U, obviously you got a few teams. 16U,
yeah.
Listen, one stood alone, right? Gainesville Stampede, they were the only ones to run the table. What did you like from them? How were they able to kind of get that done this weekend?
Well, let me 1 second.
Yeah.
Before I get to those brothers, because I really want to get to those brothers.
Okay.
I gotta shout out the other 15U teams.
Right? Listen, I went right past them too.
So
I was so
first
excited,
of all, Toronto Select. When you guys get a chance to see these guys, they're very deep. They have a 6'7", a 6'6", and they got guards off the bench that come out and they come at you in waves. First guy I want to bring up is Milan Jeric. I think I'm saying his name right. Djeric. I should have asked the pronunciation, but it's Milan Jeric, I believe. He's about 6'7". He's going to continue to grow. He's got long wingspan, block shots, great touch around the rim, moves pretty well on the perimeter when he gets switched on the guards. Rim protection. He does a really good job of he's kind of all around right now. And from the coaches, talking to the coaches, they believe he's still going to be growing. So he's someone to really, really keep track of. I believe there's D1 upside there with him. The next guy is a 6'6" forward, Luka Boris. I was really impressed with this kid, man. The fluidity in his movements at his age and how big he is. It's really cool to see. He can stop on the dime. He did a really good job attacking, getting into the paint. And what I love about young guys that especially his size, that have some potential to go to the next level. Right now, obviously things can change, but he had great discernment of when he should attack the basket, get in there, go through someone's chin, and finish at the rim. And then he also had a good feel for, oh shoot, two are coming, let me drop it off to my big for nice interior passing. Or he would do a good job of skipping to the corner. And he did show some ability to shoot off the bounce. I think that those two guys together are really, really tough. And the last guy I want to shout out for that team, and if the coaches are listening, I just want to let you know, I want you brothers to know, look, you got a great team, but I don't want to take up all their time, so I gotta get to a few guys. But Eric Kaufman, he's their lead guard. He's a kid that stuck out to me in that first game. Gets downhill. Once he gets the ball, he's ablaze. Once he gets in open court and gets to the cup, he does a really good job of finishing at the rim. And what what I did like about him on those tough finishes, he really was able to put that ball high off the glass with good English and with consistency. Against bigger, taller bigs, he did a good job using Euros and using the basket to shield, to kind of help him get away from that big so the big can't really get to it. He was really heady, can shoot off the bounce, make good passing reads, really good sound reads. Guys, I mean, this Toronto Select team, I can keep going. I mean, they got really good players on the bench. You got other guys, Adrian Aquino. I mean, they got really good players. This team is someone we, as a NXTPRO family, should really embrace. This team is really fun to watch. And in the last 15U team, sorry, fellas, Carter Wade.
Okay.
Carter Wade, he, man, talk about a tough, hard-nosed guard. Fearless when attacking the basket. Finishes well at the basket, can shoot, shoots the heck out the ball, whether it's off the bounce or off the catch. I mean, he was really, really good. That team, the Young Hustle team, I'm sorry, they played against the Toronto Select team I just talked about. Probably, if not the best game, probably the second best game of the weekend. It was really fun to watch. Overtime, they all competed. You got kids getting on the ground for loose balls. You got guys fighting for rebounds. You got guys closing out hard, staying in front, sliding their feet, making the extra. It was just beautiful basketball for that age group. So shout out to those guys. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'll shut up. There's more on that team too. But we got to get to the next teams, man. I don't want to be that guy that's holding up some of the superstars coming like Nick.
I wish we could talk about all the kids, man. There's so many talents.
Yeah, we need a NXTPRO deep cut show. We need some more. Like, you're right. There's a lot to love about a lot of these kids out here. So no, you're right. But real quick, like we'll run through. I mean, I'd already tried to run through to them, so I'll be quick here. But right. Gainesville Stampede.
Woo! Them Florida boys. Look, man. Them. First of all, shout out their coach. He did a really good job. But Justice Phillips and Jawan Scipio, I believe I'm saying his last name right. Both Justice Phillips, 6'4" wing, Jawan 6'3". Those are, I would put both those guys in the category of dribble, pass, shoot wings. They do all of those things really, really well. Justice was, to me, one of the most consistent players this weekend. You can come into the game and understand that he's going to go through your chin when he gets the ball in the post. Ain't no playing around with that, man. There's no extra movements. He's efficient. And I think that's a good word for him overall. His game, he's efficient. There's no wasted movements. There's no, you know, some kids will catch it, bounce behind the step, you know, behind the back, step back, all this other stuff, and they don't even have to do it. Just catch and shoot it, bro. Right? But him, that's what it is. He can play inside, outside, on the perimeter defensively. He moves his feet well, keeps guards in front really well, has enough strength in his frame to handle bigger guys as well. Jawan, he's just that kid that just gets the job done. I mean, he's quiet but productive. He rebounds, he pushes in the break, makes the extra hit-ahead pass. He can shoot it, he finishes at the rim. Those two guys they're really good. Dribble, pass, shoot wings right there. And I'm pretty sure they're going to continue to grow. I mean, both those kids are really fun to watch, man. Florida, shout out to Florida boys, man.
Hey, shout out to them for sure. And then real quick, like I said, we got to have you on again at some point to talk more in depth about these guys. But between the 17U, you had Real Phenom and you had a Grand Park Premier.
Yes.
So real quick, any quick hitters on those guys you liked from what you saw? Again, going undefeated. They did something.
Yes. Right. So for those 17U teams, man, Grand Park, I'll go Grand Park. Grand Park is just fun to watch. To me, there's not really a superstar per se on that team, but they're all really good basketball players. I mean, they understand how to they communicate on both sides of the ball. I tweeted about that actually. Like they talk just as much on defense as they do on offense, vice versa, right? Max Maycomb, really good heady guard. He's got good size for the guard position. Shoots the ball off the bounce. Heady, makes the extra pass. Really good at getting into the paint off the pick and roll and hitting the big on the roll, or just reading the low man and kicking to the corner. You got Josiah Ball. I love watching him. He's got good size, probably about 6'5". Really does a good job. He has this move that he goes to. He catches it in the post or the mid post around the free throw line area. He attacks middle, spins back to his right hand. He probably did that about 8 times and just either he scored it or fouled, got to the free throw line. I'll just leave it at that. Grant Park is really good you're going to work. You're going to leave that game understanding, we just got into a dogfight because they're going to be physical with you, and they got guys that can play a little bit of finesse. They got a last guy I'll shout out for Grant Park, Durante Morton. He stood out to me. He's like that Alex Caruso, that glue guy. Like he'll take on the best offensive player. He rebounds. He'll initiate offense. He's just that glue guy. Like whatever you need, he'll take care of it. And he doesn't complain. He doesn't complain. Phenom, real phenom. They remind me of Toronto Select, just like the 17 teams. They have so many guys. They're deep. I mean, against the city, Circle City Shooters, I think if I kept up with it right, 17 for 20 from three, I believe, in that game. And I mean, those guys, they really make you work, man. I don't want to butcher his name, but I believe it's Narpu, I want to say, or Narfu. I hate that I'm messing that up. Let me make sure. It says Narpu Jimpa, but I feel like, I hope I'm not butchering that brother's name. But that kid, I mean, versatility. You want in the post, he can give you there. You want him from shooting out the range, he'll give you there. I mean, honestly, guys, you can look at that roster. Desmond Ware, really good point guard, talented, attacks hard in the paint. I mean, like I said, guys, I mean, you could go Isaiah Ayala. I was really impressed with him, man. He attacks the glass. He really can shoot. He can shoot the three really well. I mean, he went on a barrage. I mean, I think he hit back-to-back threes in the one game where he just got hot and things got going. These guys are
legit,
man. I haven't seen everybody, but I would be close to saying they may be a contender. But we'll see. I got to see some more people.
Hey, no, I appreciate that. I love that. And I think in my haste to run through, I didn't give Run as One enough love. I kind of said the name and I was like, okay, next. So I apologize. But Larry, please give a little breakdown for Run as One real quick. I apologize.
15U squad, right?
Yeah, 15U. I
look,
back.
Man. Look. Guys, when you get a chance to watch this, their point guard, Austin Brown, right? When you see him, he looks like NBA young boy, but just like a very small, right? But when you watch him play, man, his game is bigger. It's bigger. You want to talk about anything, like if you look at the definition of a point guard, that's what he is. He oozes the intangibles. He doesn't shut up. He's always talking, whether in the press, half court. He's bringing the ball up, pointing guys in the right spots. He comes off the pick and roll. He's got really good feel for the game. I did some digging on him. He has two brothers that play Division I basketball and a dad that coaches. So it makes a ton of sense. He finishes at the rim. You see him, you're like, what? But he finishes at the rim. He does a good job of playing off 2 feet. He's the head of a snake on your defense. He will guard you 94 feet. He slides his feet really well. He took a couple charges this weekend. Like I love that kid. I mean, that kid is really good. The last one I want to shout out is he actually was 14, but he played up. Asa Birch. This is a kid that we all should be keeping tabs on. He's about 6'4" right now. He's probably going to continue to grow. I guess he's like a big time quarterback on the football field. His dad played at Michigan. His dad played in Michigan with Bo Schembechler. I believe he was the head coach when he played. Went to the NFL a little bit, so he has those genes. This kid has got the build already. He's big, strong build. Rebounds the ball, can push it on the break. Has a beautiful form actually right now, high pointed release, I should say. The kid, they got some players. Shout out Ohio, man. They got some players, man. You know, and like I said, I don't want to take too much time. Maybe we got to go deeper because there's some more players I would love to get to. But yeah, man.
For sure, we'll definitely have you on another time.
Absolutely, thank you. Seriously,
topping up with you, but we appreciate you coming on, Larry, talking some Grand Rapids hoops. And are you going to be somewhere this weekend?
I'll be in Rockford, man. I'll be in Rockford.
Yes, sir. So
looking forward to seeing that.
Check out Larry Golden on Twitter. So thank you for coming on again.
Appreciate y'all, man. I'll be in the backstage checking out the superstar, brother. I'll be in the backstage.
Let's go.
All right, y'all.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Hey, thank you so much, man. Oh man, Larry's the best, man. We could have went so much deeper, but we got a lot of guests, so we got to keep it moving. But that was fun.
A lot more to get to.
Woo!
We got a special guest out of California, playing for one of the best high schools in the country, top 40 kid in the country, who also was participating in the USA Basketball Junior Mini Team Camp. Nick Krass. How we doing, Nick?
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you guys for having me.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I just wanted to get into your experience with the USA Basketball Junior National Team Minicamp. What was it like playing against some of the best players in the country? What did you learn? What did you take away about your own game?
I mean, it was for sure super special just to have the opportunity to go out there, go to Arizona, and compete against those guys. They're the best in the country, and just putting that USA across your jersey just to practice is a special feeling. I got to learn a lot. The coaches, they put us in different positions to learn different things. So taking that back and, playing against those guys, learning how to play with 4 other really great players, which, I mean, I've had quite a lot of experience with on my high school team, but doing that at that level was super amazing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It sounds like an amazing experience for sure.
Yeah.
Nick, I understand you played with Pro 16 last year. Can you kind of share a little about your experience there, how you enjoyed some of the games? Like, can you give a little bit of insight as to what you did with Pro 16 last season?
Yeah, I mean, coming to a new league, it was super exciting, especially you really not knowing what to expect. That first week, I remember we went 0-4. So, continuing to improve, continuing to get better. We went 2-2 the week after that, and then ended up in the Elite Eight towards the end of the summer. And every game, college coaches, every game was fun. Every game was competitive. So it was super great.
Absolutely.
I love that.
You guys had a super successful high school season with Harvard Westlake, one of the best teams in the country. What were some of the biggest areas of improvement of your game that you saw since last summer to now?
I feel like body-wise, I got a lot stronger, got a lot faster, got a lot more athletic. Basketball-wise, I feel like I've grown in all aspects. Reading the game, playing faster, and honestly, my defense side of the ball, I felt like I could put myself in front of anybody and guard them. So I feel like that was something that I for sure got better at.
That's cool. That's cool. Always cool to see, especially like you said, identifying growth, seeing where you kind of improve it upon, and getting a stronger player for the next level competition. That's amazing.
Yep.
Kind of moving forward, again, where it comes to, you playing right now, your experience with USA basketball, the junior national team, everything. How's the recruitment process going for you? What are you kind of evaluating? I know it's something, obviously playing basketball is the main thing, but that's a big deal coming up on the side. How have you been kind of keeping that in this proper context in addition to still performing at a high level?
Quite honestly, I've always kept the main thing.
I love it.
Recruiting is a super big piece to, life in itself. It's a big decision. So, I mean, I've been taking a lot of time, just trying to understand teams, looking at how they play throughout the year. So, but at the same time, I've been really focused on getting better. If you don't get better, it don't matter where you go, you're not going to be able to play. So, I've been listening to Coach. I've been calling and texting them, trying to understand their process, as well as trying to see how I fit their program. Hopefully setting up some official visits soon so I can really go and see what that life looks like. And then hopefully later down the line, make that decision.
Absolutely. And best of luck with that for sure. That sounds really good, your process on that.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, Nick, I just had a quick question about your game in particular. So at 6'7", 6'8", obviously you have the size to play at the next level, but I think one underrated aspect is your feel for the game. Can you talk about where that kind of comes from? Is it a lot of film sessions, a lot of coaching? Where does that feel and playmaking ability come from?
Growing up, I always had my dad who coaches at Los Angeles Valley College. He's taught me everything I know from dribbling, passing, shooting. The feel from the game really just comes from him. I mean, we watch film all the time. We work out all the time. He's given me pretty much the blueprint to understand the game of basketball. So reading the game has pretty much just come from all the work that we've put in, all the work that we've done watching film. So it's really helped my game.
Sure.
I love that. Definitely. And I got one last question for you, Nick. A lot of great actions on the basketball court, good assists, clutch rebound. For you, what's the biggest thing, most impactful for you? Are you one of those guys? Would it be bigger for, a big time clutch shot or game saving block? How do you feel on that?
The either or?
Yeah, if you had to pick one. You
want
to be the player of the game anyway. So either you hit either you hit the clutch shot to put the team up to end the game, or you get the block to seal the deal or to kind of save the win for y'all. Which one are you rather going with?
I'll take the shot just because I feel like it's more rare.
I like that. No, for sure. I think that's cool. Okay. Yeah. I like it.
I feel like it's also a lot more pressure. Like, it's in your hands when you're on defense. I mean, it's in your hands, but if they get it over your hand, I mean, there's chance. So
I get that. Good defense, better shot, that sort of thing happens. You'd rather be on the other end of that equation. I like it. For sure.
So Nick, you've got a new teammate this year with BTI United in Xavion Staton.
Yep.
He's a super talented player. Can you share a little bit about what you expect this season with BTI?
I mean, first off, our whole team is just a whole bunch of great dudes. I mean, X off the court, just having known him for a little bit of time, he's one of the best dudes that I think I'll be able to play with. Just super humble, super kind. I mean, he cares for pretty much everybody, super good family. So playing with him on the court is going to be super easy, feeding him the ball, throwing him lobs. I mean, it's going to be super fun with his height, his athleticism, and the way he runs the floor. I can't wait for that. And then, we have guys from last year coming back. Isaiah Johnson, our point guard, who three of us were supposed to be playing 16U, playing 17U, getting to Elite 8. So Isaiah Johnson, who was hurt that last week, he can't wait to come back. And, he's a super crafty guard. He can get to the basket. He makes really good reads. And then we bring back Peyton White, who, physical monster. He's built different. So, it's going to be super fun to get back on the court with those guys. And this week's our first week, so we can't wait to get on the court.
Oh, let's go. We're excited to see it for sure.
Yep.
Nate, thank you so much for coming on again.
Thank you, guys.
BTI is my pick to win it all this year, so you can prove me right. But thank you for coming on again, and we'll see you this week.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
That's a good pick. I like it.
There it is, man. We appreciate you. Thank you again for the time.
Thank you.
Of course, man. Oh, man. I did not know it was your pick. I got to get on board and get one, too, so, I could be, looking like I know it. but speaking of that,
they got a stacked squad. Him and Xavion, as well as Peyton White, like you said, Isaiah Johnson. They're gonna be tough to beat.
Okay, I feel that. I got to talk about another team that was tough to beat this entire weekend. The KC Spurs, man. We got to talk about them up in Omaha. Had the privilege of watching a really good game with them. Player really stood out. We're about to bring him on board here. Listen, guy can kind of do it all. Excited to have him on here. We got Larry Porter from the KC Spurs. Larry,
what's up?
Yeah, man. How you doing?
Brother? I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great.
That's good, man. That's good.
Thank you for coming on.
Yes, sir. What you say? I'm sorry.
Huh? Oh yeah, no, of course. No, we're just happy to have you on. We appreciate that. Definitely.
I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. So listen, man. Like y'all Spurs, y'all had a great weekend. Y'all ran the table. Like you had some good games in there. Like how did you enjoy that entire experience?
Man, I love it. I just love the competitiveness. I want to play against the best teams, the Pro 16 teams. I feel like we got a great squad. I feel like we have no weaknesses. We got the height, the point guards, the shooters. We got everything we need to be competitive.
Yeah, how good. Yeah. That's for sure.
You guys had an awesome weekend also in OKC the week before. You beat a Pro 16 team in Southern Ties.
Yes, sir.
This past weekend was a real statement weekend for your team going 4-0. What is your relationship with your team like? Is there a lot of chemistry there, or how long have you guys been playing together?
I've been here since 15U, and we got a few new guys and some old guys, but the chemistry is great. We got, like I said, we have everything. We got some new players that I love, like Van, Malik. He's been here for a minute. Sully. We're all competitive, and we just stick together, and we just want to win. We want to be the best.
Sure.
Yeah, that's dope. I gotta go more into this weekend, like the competition level. What was that like for you? Because I know, listen, I had one. I heard the name KC Spurs. I was around. I actually ran into someone familiar with you in that more. Like I was already kind of familiar around, just hearing through the grapevine. Yeah. But the game I ended up watching, man, that Oklahoma chaos, like, like that was fire, man. Like that was the game of the weekend for me, hands down. Like it was just so good, and there was a whole lot to it, as you know, like a whole lot to it. So exactly, like it was good. Can you kind of go into the competition level a little bit of that game? Like that was worth the price of admission for sure.
Man, it was just competitive, man. You know, they start
Absolutely.
talking and we don't back down. We're not gonna back down. We just gonna let our game talk. You know what I mean? And it was just a great game. I love that. It was a great game, man. It was competitive, a lot of chirping, but at the end of the day, we took the dub and they were competitive and we just shook hands and called it a day.
Which I loved. I thought at the end of the day, like you right, like with that kind of game, and they got like Shanku. I was telling you after the game, like emotions were high during that. Like I'm off the sidelines, I'm tense, and I'm just scouting, like woo, woo. But at the end of it, like I love that it was dapping up, all good, everything was great about that. But I love the fact that for a team like y'all played, like you said, you know, poised well. And Oklahoma Chaos, credit to them, like they came in, they were hitting shots, they were playing tough. Like it felt for a second like y'all were okay trying to recollect, and y'all did. Second half, you know, end of the first half, y'all were starting to get back in y'all flow. Second half, y'all kind of did what y'all did, but it was really good to kind of see the ebb and flow in like a really good back and forth game that, like I said, I really enjoyed. So that was dope. Credit to y'all for the win. Credit to Oklahoma City Chaos for the competition. Like that was a fun game.
It was great. It was great. I love the competition, man.
Absolutely, man. I could tell for real.
Yeah, we're gonna back down from that. We want all the smoke.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. That sounds like an awesome game. I wish I could have been there for it. But Larry, for those who are kind of unfamiliar with the game, could you enlighten us on kind of how you play? What's your play style? Do you have any player comparisons?
I feel like how I play. I like to play at my own pace and my own motion. I feel like I'm a two-way player. I can impact the game on defense or offense, and I just like to do my own thing. I like to play defense, I play offense, but I think my player comparison would probably be like Shea or Edwards, a little bit explosive because I like to. They play two-way and they play at their own pace. That's what I like to do.
Yeah, you definitely had a lot of change of pace in your game that I enjoyed. Like it was a lot of methodical getting into the middle, and then you explode to the gap. Like and I gotta ask, I think I saw when I saw you on Twitter. There's some football in there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Like in the aggressiveness, and I don't say that disrespectfully. There's a few football players in the circuit that at least I know of. I was the other end of the football player. I'm the one knocking people down. That's not a foul. Like, you know, like the other end of that, like the ones you don't want to play with. But you could tell in terms of like how you would like shoot through gaps and how you would like kind of turn on and off the physicality in different moments. How do you apply like what you did, you know, and what you do, you know, playing football into basketball?
I just applied because, you know, this is 17U and the game is getting stronger. And sometimes you got to be physical. Sometimes the refs aren't calling them tatty fouls, and it's time for you to just get big and be strong. And that's how I just switch it from football to basketball. You can't talk to the ref so much, man. You got to take contact and finish. That's how you got to be.
Absolutely, man.
Yes, sir. So kind of talking about looking forward, do you have any interest from colleges, any offers to play at the next level?
I like I said football, but in basketball, I've been talking to South Dakota and UTA, but them are the only two like interests I have. But in football, well, that's a whole nother different thing too.
Where are you leading on that? Because I mean, like you said, if you got offers from basketball and you obviously got some stuff from football, like I mean, it's early. You got to like review all the cards, but how do you feel? Let me ask a different question. How do you feel about knowing you have both kind of in the wings for you?
It's just, man, I feel great. It's really God, man. All glory to Him, but I feel great about that. It's just gonna be a tough decision when it comes down to it. I love basketball and I love football. I really don't know which one I pick.
It's time for that Bo Jackson. I don't know if you heard something like that.
It's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough.
Absolutely, man. Listen, I wish you the best of luck when that decision comes for sure. But for now, we still love watching you hoop. And you know, speaking of that, I get to ask one of my favorite questions here. You know, you got to get a bucket. What is your go-to? I saw a little bit of it in crunch time against the Chaos, but like, what is your go-to move when you gotta get a score? What are you doing?
Hezzy pull. Yeah, it'd be hezzy pull.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah, hezzy pull. I like a hezzy pull.
He's got a plan too. I like that.
Yeah.
I do. And seeing his speed to the rim, I can tell that's probably pretty effective.
Yeah. Either hezzy pull or go right past him with the hezzy, one of the two. It's probably the most effective move. I like it. It's probably the most effective.
Jeez, I'm with it, man. I'm with it.
So congrats again on an awesome weekend. Where can we find you and KC Spurs playing next?
We'll be local, but we will be out in a few more weeks. I don't know. I have to check on which one, but we will be back. We will be back for sure.
Okay. Hey, that's scary words for a lot of teams right now. They gonna be out there. We're gonna be looking forward to seeing y'all. Larry, thank you for the time, man. Thank you for the insight. Thank you for the games. Like we look forward to seeing y'all again real soon.
Hey, thank you for having me. Yes,
Always, man, for sure. Man, he good, man. He good. Like that's somebody I'm definitely looking forward to watching in the future. I can't talk enough about the game, and I don't got the time to because we got another good guest on. So let's keep this bad boy moving for sure.
For sure, yeah. I think we can get into some breakdown of actually Omaha.
Oh, okay. You want? Okay. I know we got coach, right? Do we? I think.
Yeah, I think we can do.
We'll do Omaha real quick. Run through that.
Quick, yeah.
Okay, got you. Okay. Well, listen, this is why I do my best Shanku impression. Let's get it.
Yeah, so we can show some love to all the undefeated teams, starting with Nebraska Supreme, Pro 16 team. Talk about Ban Boom. He was a player that was on our circuit last year. I really liked his game. What did you see from him this past weekend?
Yeah, this is my first time seeing him. Like I heard about him, on Twitter. I'm reading the articles, trying to kind of be abreast of, and it's a unique experience for me, like learning about these players and also like watching them on the fly. But I can say the dude's a force. The dude's a beast. Like in transition, long strides, gets the rims easy, super aggressive when he's getting there too. Like in terms of going to the cup, and I don't even mean one track behind the worst way. Just like I got the ball, I'm decisive with my action, I'm getting to the basket. I know I got the length and athleticism to finish over the top, to finish around, or in some cases to kind of finish through you, kind of take the contact and finish over. And so, like, jump shot as well, a little bit of a dribble game. Like, but what I really enjoyed best was the ability to get to the basket. I think, it's especially the way it was reffed a little bit in Omaha, which I loved, which is a lot of kind of a reference, a lot, letting the guys play a little bit. So you're going to have some contact. And are you going to go through and finish over the top and make that and one or make that tough lay? You're going to be looking like, whoa, where'd the foul happen? And listen, Bam Boom, he was making baskets. Like there was no time for games with him.
Yeah, Boom is on-time senior. He already holds a Division I offer, I believe, so he'll be a player to track through the spring with Nebraska Supreme. But another player for them was Lazarick Houston. What did you like from him? What did you see from him?
Yeah, so Houston, man, it was fun watching Houston for sure. Just like Boom, like somebody just smooth, just a real smooth game. You kind of seen the highlights there. He's somebody who he loves the outside jumper, and the jumper is smooth. Like it works really well. But I think what I love most about it is the fact he can get to it just as easily off of the catch as he can off the bounce and just get into that. But it's not just the jump shot. I mean, even in the highlights you saw, like, don't get it twisted. The drive game is there, and so he can get in there. You saw up and under moves. You saw counters, kind of draw the contact, finish through it, and leveraging, and I almost like Larry and some other guys will talk about, leveraging the outside shot with the fact that it can finish inside. It makes it, I mean, it's a catch-21 for a defense. Catch-22, I think. Catch-21. Listen, whatever, man. It's tough for the defense. There we go.
Right.
Woo, catch
Another team that had a super successful weekend was the KC Spurs, who we just brought on. Larry Porter was a part of that team. Could you give us a little deeper insight on Larry?
Yeah, listen, like I said, Larry, a football player playing basketball, and I mean that in the best way possible. Like a strong finisher, a guy who gets into the lane. I loved his competitive energy. I love the fire that he had, the spirit, the energy. The KC Spurs as a team really brought it together, like really professional, really hyped, but they kept it composed. But like Larry is controlled fire. It's like your little Bunsen burner. Like it's there. Like make no mistake, it's real. But the way he plays, nice jump shot, mid-range for sure. Can stretch out to three, but he likes to operate in my mind more, in the paint to that mid-range area. Like you said, the heads he pulls, the thing he has, and the speed he has of, setting up a dribble to shoot the gap to get to the basket and finish the play. Like it's solid, and so kind of balancing that with a really good outside shot and looking forward to seeing that kind of grow, him shooting more threes and being able to mix up more as he continues to grow with the frame he has. Like it's a body built to take and punish in terms of giving out contact and finishing through. So it was really, really fun to see him.
Yeah. You talked about that shooting a little bit from Porter. Another guy that can really shoot on that team is Cameron Yowes, who stood out to me in Oklahoma City when he was here for session 1. Talk about his game, what you like from him.
Yeah, the dude can shoot. Like you said, I love shooters. He almost made my piece I did on great scores. Could filled it up. He had a really good game against Magic, against Kansas Magic. They had a tight win. That was probably one of their tighter wins. That one and the one over the Omaha Chaos. And he was 4-6 from 3. Really good combo guard. He could pass the ball a bit for sure. He can kind of get the team their offense. Really good coming off ball action. Don't let him get a second to relocate, get the shot. Like he. You give him a minute, you got 3 points on the board. Like he's one of those kind of shooters, and really liked watching him operate for sure.
Yeah, definitely don't leave him open. I'll say that.
Yeah, not unless you want to just get back on defense.
Right. Another team in Nebraska that stood out was Lincoln Supreme going 4-0. Talk about Michael Haith. He offers some good size. What else does he bring to the table?
Yeah, kind of a do-it-all forward. First big, athletic, 6'6", like really good size, really good frame, and for that to be projected all in toward energy and hustle, and not even the intangibles, because he does fill up the stat sheet. He can pass a little bit. He rebounds well. Finish around the glass, runs the floor hard, active defensively, like all of that. And I think it was a consistent presence for Lincoln because he was somebody who just had a consistently high motor. Every time he was coming in, it was a bolt of energy. It was a, chaos creator on the defensive end. It was somebody keeping possessions alive on the offensive side. Kind of a little bit of everything. Do it all. Like, I really like seeing what I saw from him. And again, as he kind of grows into what he is as a player, whether that is more, defensive minded, whether it is somebody who don't sleep on him offensively, a little bit of everything. Really enjoyed that.
Yeah. Other team, I know we got to get going, but Amari Rahman. Talk about his game.
Amari Rahman, a quick, crafty playmaker. Like, I think there's something to be said for that. Like, really good vision on the offensive end. Somebody who's really good at, setting up the defense and making plays for his teammates. But dude, the dude can hit from deep. Like, you have to respect his outside jump shot, and you have to respect the fact that he does a really good job, in my opinion. I think he led both in scoring and assists. Like, out that pick and roll game, he knows just when to hit the roll man. He knows when to kind of hit the pocket pass. He knows when to get that step back. He's really good at shooting from deep and kind of manipulating, pulling all the strings. Really, really well done job by him. And so I think the balance of all of that, and again, not to understate, the scoring only serves to highlight the playmaking even more. And I really thought that was good. Like, just a really well-rounded guy that you shouldn't sleep on scoring-wise, but the dude could pass the rock.
For sure. Jake Hoyt is kind of a glue guy for this team. Talk about what you like from him.
Dude, he plays really, really solidly. Like, he's all around, a little bit of everything in terms of shooting the ball, in terms of rebound, in terms of passing. Like, I said in the no shout to training day, because I was like, where does Jake Hoyt, that name sound familiar? And of course, my mind went to the Training Day movie. Don't ask me why, but it did. But point being, like, just a really solid all-around player. And I think Iowa Impact altogether just had guys who played they did a little bit of everything. It was a really solid team effort. Everybody can score, pass a little bit. I think Hoyt was really a glue guy who kind of bound it all together, and I really enjoyed watching the little things he did as well as the more impactful actions that he had as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think to cover our 15U and 16U age divisions in Omaha, we're going to bring on another special guest, Aiden Wheelock. He is one of our head media guys now, but he's done quite a bit of scouting back in his day. So, Aiden, thank you for coming on.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good, man. Doing real quick. Yeah. I appreciate you having on. I know we got to run through some rapid fire here real quick for our next guest, but want to thank you first off for the time. And I kind of want to do it just throwing out the teams that were undefeated, giving them some love. And just, you haven't been somebody with experience in here in Nebraska to going through all that, like in terms of giving what insights and takes you have on these players, and just a few that kind of stand out here. So 15U, we had Team Warwick, 816 Hoops. First, I want to give a shout out to 816 Hoops and Team HQ, because don't got a lot of time to get on them right now, but they play really, really well. Looking forward to seeing how they perform as the competition gets a little bit tighter. But aside from that, you had Lincoln Supreme, Colorado Collective, shout out to Colorado, and that's it. Colorado Collective and Lincoln Supreme, both NXT. Like, can you give some love to, what you saw from them that you enjoyed?
Yeah, well, Warwick was the main one that they actually beat the Pro 16 Nebraska Supreme team out of South Dakota. So they went 4-0 on the weekend as well. They had Gibson Williams, who was a first-team All-State kid as a freshman up in South Dakota. He actually hit the game winner against Supreme to give them that 4-0 weekend at the end. So he was really good. And then they got Fahim Yusuf. I may be saying that name wrong, but he's a long athlete that's very good for them as well. So Warwick, they won 15U last year. It's looking like a team that can definitely pull it off again this year for 15U. Colorado Collective, they had a kid named Jacob David, who was a long guard. He played guard for them. He was one of their taller players, but often had the ball on the perimeter. He shot it over defenders really well, but took it to the rack and got a lot of buckets for them. And then for Supreme, both of their teams went undefeated this weekend. I didn't see them this weekend, but being the Nebraska guy, I covered these guys a lot in the winter and know a lot of them are, because a lot of them, this 15U class in Nebraska is very good. And so a lot of these kids did play varsity, even though not necessarily on the Pro 16 team. I think all three Supreme teams for 15U are going to be very good this year. So for Supreme 1, you have Grayson Addison at guard. He's a kid from Norris. He's really smart, as a lot of these Norris kids are that you're going to see across the circuit. Just makes the right plays, finishes through defenders, plays very well. Dakari Wilson's a athletic guard from Lincoln. Just gets to the rim. He can take you off the dribble. He can get paint touches. Just plays not above the rim yet, but he's going to be one of those guys that eventually is going to be like that once he gets a little taller. Andre Savatka is going to be one of the bigger posts down there. He's a kid that just takes it inside. He'll power through you, and he's going to score every time. And then Jet Sampson's another guy that can score from 3 levels from them. Just came off a state championship this year in the winter. For Supreme 2, I really like this team a lot. I think they're going to do some big things this year. Hayes Watts and Braylon Wolf are both starting point guards for varsity this year. I'm going to be interested to see how they play together, if it's going to be kind of one's on the bench, one's in the game playing off each other, or if they can put them both in the same time, because they're both shorter guards, both lefties, both can shoot, both can get to the rim. Great mid-range pull-ups. So those are two that are going to be good. Parker Schmidt's another Norris kid that's very smart, plays pretty similar to Grayson, has an outside shot. He was in our NXTPRO All-Star game. And then Kellen Shoemaker, he's going to be a varsity starter this year. His brother's on that National 1 team that went undefeated as well. So some more really good players for Supreme.
Yeah, I love that. No, definitely. Shout out to them. And again, you just showing your expertise in action here, Aiden, just off the top. All these full scouting reports, we appreciate it. And again, sorry for just kind of rushing here on a truncated schedule, but thank you. Kind of going from 15U to 16U. Let's start with the Nebraska Supreme Pro 16 team. Is it Derek Tonjes? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Derek Tonjes. He's a kid that he's been a part of 2 state championships. He's a very talented kid. Last year, their team won the Pro 16. They went on a big run as the 10 seed, and he was kind of the forward that was leading the way for them last year. He's developed his guard skills a lot better this year. He was the leading scorer for his varsity high school team this year. So he's kind of gotten better at that outside shot, but can also take it to the rack. Obviously kind of powered through defenders during that game. They also got Kobe Myers returning from last year's Pro 16 championship team. He's a long lefty. His dad's the coach for the 17U team. So, he's coached up well, high IQ player, can shoot the ball very well. And he had one of their big games this year. Another guy is Nike Orgevold. His brother's actually scouting for us. So we're going to probably get a lot of scouting towards Nike this year, but he's a kid that's been a varsity starter since he was a freshman. He's added a lot of strength. He's longer, can really get to the rim. And then their last one, just one more shout out. He was on Marcus Glock's team this past year for Wahoo, won a state championship with Marcus Glock. It's Cody Hesser. He's very athletic. Just kind of going to be an interesting player to see how he develops in the skills of shooting, but he's a guy that can get to the rim like no other and can really score.
I love that, for sure. And then just going to run through the other undefeated teams here, and if you have like 1 or 2 more takeaways, we'd appreciate that. But between Powerhouse, NXT, SW, Iowa Impact, Lob Elite, and Lincoln Supreme. 4 great teams. Obviously, we don't got time to go all into them, but if you want to highlight 1 or 2, listen, y'all, we will give some more love. We had a packed show today, so yeah.
Yeah, for Powerhouse, Tyrell Pride was one of the top players for the 16U division. I think he led them in scoring for every single game. He had 3 20-point games. Can really hit it from the perimeter. And then they just had some athletes and a really good overall defensive unit surrounding him as the clear primary scoring option. I'll skip the Nebraska guys and go to Southwest Iowa Impact. We got Jake Babbitt. I remember watching him over the winter. He's got a sister that plays Division I basketball. Just can score really well from 3 levels, and kind of seeing him get more touches and shoot from 3 levels is going to be fun to watch this year, because they got guys that really move the ball, kind of like a similar style to Warwick that we've seen in past years, and can really shoot the ball as well.
I like that, for sure. Listen, you, just like Larry, we got to get you back on for sure, because, like, again, wealth of knowledge, we appreciate it. If we get Nebraska guys, like, we know where it's at. Aiden, where are you next week? And before that, just thank you for your time and coming on, and again, just for this quick hitter. But where are you going to be next week? Where can we look out for you?
So I run all the social media for the Pro 16, so I'll be covering everyone. But I'll be stationed in Walnut Creek next week. Yep.
Sounds good. Oh, I'll be seeing you again. That's dope.
Photo, video, he does everything, but a lot of live action stuff. So really putting out.
Multi-talented for sure, man. Absolutely. But Aiden, again, thank you, man, for your time. Thank you for coming on. Look forward to seeing you this weekend.
Yep. Good to see you guys.
I appreciate you, man. Whew, marathon continues, man. Let's get right straight to our next guest, right? Who we got, Shanku?
Yeah. So session 2, which is actually session 1 for the girls event, but down in Bryan, Texas, we had our first girls event, which was a huge success. A lot of high-level talent and kind of breaking some of the stuff that was going on there. We've got Coach Derek Beecham joining us. Coach, what's up?
Yo, what up?
How we doing?
Thank
Man,
you.
y'all caught me in the gym. Like,
We sorry. Thank you for hanging with us.
Gym, we love it.
Oh wow. Oh,
He's in the gym. Okay.
Listen, the grind don't stop. I see it.
oh man.
Man, we appreciate you in the time and thank you for kind of sitting with us for a minute there, man. Real quick, Coach. I know we're gonna talk about this great, hoops that you witnessed and share some highlight names and teams. But real quick, how did you kind of get to? Can you share a little bit about your background? What got you kind of into basketball, into the spot right now?
Yeah. Old basketball player. I run a insights and analytics firm, so we do like background analytics for college teams, high school teams, and then we do nutrition science for them. So, and then we do some recruiting. So we do the basketball of it all.
Here we go. Everything. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. So you obviously been around basketball a long time, so I'm excited to get some insight about some of the girls, starting with Louisiana United's Michaela Timberland. What did you like from her?
Yeah, Michaela Charles. So Michaela Charles and Timberland, Washington. So it's the two wings and guard on the Louisiana United. Those girls, they can play. They can really play. So they'll pack you up real quick. So Timberland has great on the ball defense, point of attack, fearless, making big shot after big shot. And Michaela Charles, just a slasher scorer. And like when I tell you this Louisiana United program, gonna be one of the best.
For sure. Another team that had a lot of success was AO Flight. Obviously, they're great on the guys' side too, but one player that stood out was Casey McCumber at 6'1". Kind of describe her game. What did you like from her?
Casey McCumber, 6'1", post play, dominate inside, rebound, just strong and stretch you out too. So like undefeated team, the AO Flight team, really well coached, great sets, get her in places, positions to win. From what I heard, I think she has a couple offers. So she's a player all year.
For sure. Playing alongside her was Marin Adams. What'd you like from her? Kind of a smaller player, but
yeah, she's 6 foot, so she's not much smaller. She tough. I think she hit couple threes. Once again, they were a force. They were force. So on the girls' level, 6'3" is about the equivalent of being a 6'5", 6'6" guy. So it was a lot to handle for some of the girls. And then the way they executed things, I know a couple of those girls won state titles. So a lot of talent on the girls' side. A lot of talent at the AO Flight.
100%. Another program that had a lot of success was Players First basketball. There's a few names that stood out. Sophie Zadell was one of them. What did you see in her? Yeah,
Sophie Zadell, she 6'3", probably the most polished player in the all weekend. So 6'3", back to the basket game, blocking shots, run the court well, could take it off the dribble a little bit, made shots, made free throws, as good as it comes. So I know she has some 3 to 5 D1 offers already, looking at some Power 5 offers. And that player first program is well rounded.
Wow. Okay. Another few players on that program are Alana Benoit and Asia Patton. What'd you like from them?
That's from, you said Benoit and Patton. They're actually from the Louisiana United program. That's the 16U.
Okay. You want to go into that then?
Yeah. We can go into that. So Journey, Elena, and Asia, they packed everybody up. They didn't play a close game. Like these 3 girls did not play a close game. The closest game they had, it was a 10-10 game in the first quarter against I want to say a well coached player first group, and the coach looked at them, talked to them, and it was 30-point lead by half. These girls got about 15 offers between them. 15 and 16. A couple of them playing up. So Journey is a 6-foot wing, off the dribble, anything you want. Elena is a 5'9" guard. At one point in 3 up and downs, she had 3 steals, 1 block, 3 rebounds, hit a 3, took a girl off the dribble. Like, these girls don't play. One game, Asia had 9 steals. 9 steals. And she only played half the game. Because like I said, they didn't play a close game.
The problem.
This Louisiana United team is tough, well coached. They don't mess around.
Scary hours. Jeez. Yeah. Talk about event creation. That's something else. Yeah.
Coach, thank you so much for coming on. Obviously.
Wait, one second. I gotta tell you guys one thing. So
please.
I gotta tell a story.
All right, let's get it.
so we walk in the gym, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like it's the first session, so nobody know anyone. So I walk in, you looking around, you seeing the facilities, it's Texas A&M, and I see a mom, and I'm like, man, this a big lady. So she's 6'4". She walking. I'm like, man, I'm looking for her daughter, right? So then there's like a 5'8" girl by her. So I'm like, okay. Mm-hmm. Then the mom put on her jersey. This girl was 6'4".
That was the girl playing.
Yeah. And then she put on the jersey. So we like, oh,
well, hold on.
Wait a second. What? She in the wrong age group. Yeah. This the 16U.
Yeah.
She can't be 16.
No.
14 from Sweden, playing for Fred Van Fleet. Like, mine belong. And when I tell you, run like a deer, strong like an ox, I think she could dunk if she knew better. Like, it was the craziest experience that I had. Like, I don't have to tell everybody.
No, I'm glad you did. That's funny.
Appreciate you for sharing that. That's awesome.
Like,
yo, that's crazy. Listen, I gotta catch some games. We
you gotta hey, this girl session, hey, talent on talent. There's probably 12 to 20 D1 girls on the girl session.
Wow. That was a pretty small event too, so that says a lot.
50 teams.
Man, yeah.
Wow.
We didn't even get into middle schoolers. We're not even talking about these middle school girls. Like they put me to shame.
That is wild. Coach, when can when's the next event? When can we stay tuned?
Next time we touch down is in Atlanta. Okay. So you already know. It gotta be. Atlanta, we ain't even gonna talk. I see we got a lot of melanin here. Okay, I see y'all.
You already know.
All right. Good to meet y'all. Appreciate y'all.
A pleasure, Coach. Thank you so much.
Y'all have a good one.
Hey, you too.
Man,
he ain't lying. That's woo.
I was not expecting that story. She said 14U 6'4" out of Sweden. Man,
once he said the mom, I was okay. I get that. And then I was 14, dude. That's crazy. I gotta tune in. I gotta tap in for sure. Like that sounds fun. Like that's definitely something to be looking forward to. I'm hyped, man. That was
for sure.
That's dope.
Absolutely. And before we get into our standings updates from this past weekend, we have one more final guest who was also in attendance at the USA Basketball Junior Team Minicamp.
Another one.
Top 25 players in the country, one of the best scorers in the world, really, for his age group. Kingston Flemings playing for SA Future on the Pro 16. What's up, Kingston?
What's up, Coach? What's up?
How we doing? Thank you for joining us. I know you were hustling back from practice, but appreciate you coming on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Always.
Yeah, so I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about your experience with USA Basketball this past week. What did you learn about yourself, about your game, as well as playing alongside some of the best prospects in the country?
Mm-hmm. I'll say USA is always great. I like it better than other camps. People actually play the game the right way. I had Hudson Greer and Chris Cenac. He's on Puma now too with YGC. I had them two on my team. We was killing in threes. Okay. I also had the team they were on my team in fives too. It was me, them two, Jameer Jones, the top prospect. We had Terrion Burgess. We had Jaden Toombs from Texas too. So yeah, we was killing. It was great just being out there playing against other talented people, against and with. I think I proved to myself that I think I'm one of the best just guards in the country and defending guards. I think I was playing very, very good defense. So that's the main thing.
Yeah, that's cool. And like you said, the fact you're able to stake out your claim, be like, hey, I'm just establishing myself right here as one of the best position ranks, whatever the case may be, really, really cool. Knowing you playing, with the SA Future, rocking with them, any goals with playing with them this upcoming, spring into the summer?
Yes, sir. Winning the whole thing, that's always a goal going into it.
Always.
That's always gonna
Absolutely.
be the goal. And the main thing is, like last summer, I kind of popped off, like kind of became more known, on the scene. So just getting my other teammates, we played together for a long time. So just getting them offers too, getting them looks. That's like my main goal. That's why I feel like that's my job as a point guard to get my other teammates stuff. So just talking to them about what they got to do for them to get to the next level as well.
Man, premier teammate through and through. I love that.
We love that. Obviously, you talk about your point guard. A lot of people may be unfamiliar with your game, though. How would you describe it yourself? Are there any player comparisons you have or players that inspired your game?
I'd say I'm what you call like a traditional point guard. There's not a lot of those left. I feel like a lot of point guards nowadays like more like scoring guards. I can score, but I think the best thing I do is pass. Get into the lane, dishing it out, just getting people open. I think I'll prove that this summer. My favorite player is Cade Cunningham. I'm not sure if I play a lot like him. That's my favorite player. I'm just gonna say that. I think I play a little bit like Tyrese Halliburton. Just getting my teammates open. And I think I'm one of like fastest, one of the most athletic guards. So I'll say like John Wall. Like John Wall is a guard too.
For sure, I see that.
That's dope. I love the player comp. Those are some really like that. I feel like I got the game to a T on that. That's dope. Again, I'm asking everybody in terms of you're playing, your experience, the junior national team, obviously, ball in the SA future, but it is that time, right? With recruitment, getting whether it's offers, interest, conversations, obviously the main thing, and that's the basketball, and we get it, and you balling out, but how do you balance, playing the game and putting it out there? And also, like you said, not even added pressure, but just the added responsibility that you put of like trying to also make sure your teammates look good and showing the love, but while balancing where you are and ultimately your future.
I'll say when you're playing basketball, I feel like I love this game, so I feel like you shouldn't be stressed in playing a game that you love. So I just go out the game, just do what I do best. I know I'm the only one that can do what I do, so there's nothing stressful about it. I just got to go out there and prove it. About my teammates, I'll say the main thing is I know they're gonna show up. So just me doing my job, I'll do my job. I'll put them in places where they can succeed. So I don't feel like it's much pressure put on me and stuff like that. So. Just going into every game, just doing my job, trying to get the win. I don't really care much for stats, just trying to get the win. I think winning's a point guard stat for me.
I like that.
There you go.
There
it is.
What would you say is an area that you want to improve, not only this spring and summer, but going forward in your basketball career?
I think for sure it's shooting behind the three. My pull-up, I think I have one of the best pull-ups. I just like coming off the dribble, off screens, being able to pull from the three. My catch and shoot has gotten a lot better. I think that's the main thing I'm trying to improve.
That movement shooting?
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
I like that. And I guess piggybacking off of that is the favorite question. As it stands right now, like obviously we know, by the time we talk next time, the shooting will probably be part of that weaponry in your bag. But right now, if you got to get a bucket, we know you pass the rock. That's your go-to thing. But if you got to score, and you got the ball, you got the time. What are you doing? What are we seeing from Kingston Flemings?
What's the score? I need to know like what kind of shot I need.
You know what? I should say, yeah. I would say tie game. I'm gonna say tie game. Tie game. You got the ball. Let's do like 7 seconds left.
I'd say we have a play called like Memphis. It doesn't really matter. It's like people can hear it or whatever. It's Memphis dribble drive. Dribble drive. Yeah, push him through and kind of just me at the top. We have. You'll see this summer, Kamlin Kogel. I think he's the best shooter on Pro 16. He's the best shooter I've ever seen in person.
Oh wow,
that's just me. I think he'll prove it this summer. But we have shooters around. Me just trying to get downhill. I'm not gonna settle. I'll get to a pull-up. I'll pull up my best shot. If I can get downhill, get to a layup, get to a dunk, I'll get that. If two collapse, I'll drive and kick. But I'll say main thing, I'm dribbling down. I'll probably do a hezo or in and out, get into a pull-up. Jump stop, pull up, yeah. Or get into the crowd, sometimes refs will call it.
Yeah.
I love it, man. I love it.
Yes, sir.
Oh man. Well, listen, Kingston Flemings, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming on and giving, Shanku and myself the time. And we definitely look forward to seeing you in action. When we next being able to catch you play, you and your team rock? This weekend.
Yes, we're playing this weekend.
Yes, sir.
In Dallas. I might not play. I hurt my finger at USA. So I might not be there this weekend just to rest. But if I do play this weekend, this weekend. But I'll for sure be there for the next one.
For sure. We wish you a speedy recovery with your hand. Hopefully we get to see you in Dallas. But if not, we'll definitely see you soon.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for coming on again. Appreciate you coming on.
Appreciate you, man. Man, another good one. Another goal. I'm very that Luke. The dude had the sequence. Listen, if the refs call, don't call. Like we got contingency plans. That
He's
team
going
look
out
like,
and out. He's true point guard
I love it. I love it. That team's. I'm very much looking forward to watching them play.
for sure. He's got offers from probably any school in the country, and it'll be super fun to watch this year.
That's what it's all about. You know, great people, great ball, and we still not done. Like we marathon of a show, y'all. That's easily probably our longest show today here, and we still got to go into the standings. So let's just go into the standings, right? Let's get right to it.
Let's do it.
Ooh, all right. So you know, we got this is the of course my thing will 12U, 11U. Thank you. All right. So we're gonna start number 1. Got the NJ Pirates up in here, holding the top spot, holding it down. Right behind them is DMV Hoop Stars at number 2. And number 3, we got the Texas Flames Basketball Academy. All right, number 4, we got JH5. Number 5, we got Bulls Nation. Number 6 is AAO Flight. Number 7, we got Central Flight. And listen, right now at 8, but hopefully not for long, we got Made Prospects Basketball Club. So that's the 1 through 8 for the 11U. Going on to the 12U, got 15 teams. So we got as number 1, Team Museum. Number 2, AAO Flight. Number 3, Team United Texas. Number 4, JH5. Number 5, we got Porter Basketball Academy. Number 6, Castle Athletics. Number 7, we got Central Flight. Number 8, Run as One. Number 9 is Team Warwick. Number 10 is Extreme Pressure. Number 11 is GSA Canes, right? Making sure I read that right. I think I did, yeah.
Yes, Canes.
Okay,
yep.
cool. Number 12 is DMV Hoop Stars. Number 13, you got the GSA Ankle Breakers. Number 14, we got Bulls Nation. And number 15, we got Made Prospects. But like I said, we hoping they moving on up here too at the 12U. 13U, got the Brea Ballers, number 1. Number 2 is Run as One Teal. Number 3, we got Team Grind King. Number 4 is the NE Hoops Elite. Number 5, we got the Louisiana Cardinals. Number 6, the University of Hoops. Number 7 is AAO Flight. Number 8 is Team GME. Number 9 is Team Oklahoma. Number 10, we got Castle Athletics. Number 11 is New Day Elite. Number 12, we got Team Warwick. At 13, repping Colorado, we got Colorado Collective. Number 14, we got Epic Academy. Number 15, we got Fam Elite. And at 16, we got a JH5. Still alive, right? That's I don't know. That's that B5. Anyway, it's an old joke. Anyway, all right. Moving from 13U to 14U. Listen, man. At number 1 for 14U, we got JH5. Number 2, Oklahoma Chaos. Number 3, got Colorado Hard to Guard. Number 4, Brea Ballers. Number 5, we got Illinois Future. Number 6, we got Team Warwick. Number 7 is Como TNT. Number 8, we got the Quad City Shockers. Number 9 is South U. At 10 is GSA All-Stars. You got Boxers Basketball Club at 11. You got Castle Athletics at 12. You got EAD, Oklahoma, at 13.
EAD.
Okay, there we go, EAD. Got 14 at Oklahoma Wolfpack. At 15, we got the BBT Elite Black. And at 16, we got Invictus Red Storm. Moving on over to the 15U. Number 1, we got the GSA Heat. Number 2, Toronto Select. Team Ish holding it down at number 3. At number 4, we got Team Warwick. And number 5 is the Clarksville Crossovers. Love the name. Number 6 is JH5. Oklahoma Wolfpack is at number 7. You got BTI Pressure Elite at number 8. Off to You sits at number 9. We got PPA Premier at number 10. Got 816 Hoops Shaman at number 11. You got RNJ Elite at number 12. Got Triangle Offensive Elite at 13. You got Team 94 at number 14. Next place, Skills Academy number 15. And Olney Elite at number 16. And that's for the 15U. So we got a bunch of squads, a bunch of teams, a lot of movement, it feels like already from last week to this week.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to continue to move.
For sure. We're excited to see it happen.
Absolutely.
Let's get to it.
Getting to the 16U standings, we've got a lot of the same teams at the top. BTI Pressure Elite at 1, NCX Raptors at 2, Off to You out of Arkansas at 3, Florida Bayhawks 4, Heartwork Elite, who's coming off of an impressive weekend in Monroe, Louisiana, GSA Elite, who's 8-0 this week, this season, OTP at 7, Team Ish at 8, Next Level South Carolina at 9, Exclusive Hoops at 10, Lion Chaser U Murphy at 11, Team Oklahoma at 12. Cap City Scrappers at 13. Developing Character, who also had a 4-0 weekend this past weekend at Monroe, Louisiana. KSK Club at 15 and KOTC at 16, rounding out the top 16.
There we go.
And to wrap up the 17U standings, again, not a lot of movement at the top with Rogue, Urban DFW, BTI Pressure Elite, Norcross Heat at the top 4 positions still. River City Hoops at 5, Delaware Certified Hoops at 6, Family Say is coming off a big weekend in Monroe at 7, Real Phenom at 8, Grand Park Premier was awesome in Grand Rapids at 9, Hill City Crash at 10, Unity Sports Academy at 11, Grassroots North Carolina at 12, Alabama Generals at 13, Prestige Basketball Club at 14, Team KST at 15, and Team United Texas Black at 16, rounding out the top 16 for the 17U age division.
Wow. Again, movement. A lot of stuff going on. Week 2 in the books, week 3 coming up. Like, it's going to keep happening. We'll start seeing some stabilization soon, but I love it. Like, this is fun. Like I said, we had – huh?
A lot of these teams will be in action this weekend too, so definitely expect a lot of movement in the next week's standings update for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Listen, this has been another fun week. I gotta say, real quick, for my first time out, loved Omaha, loved the group. Shout out to Matt Vineyard, shout out to Jordan Lutovsky, great site directors. Had a blast. Shanku, I know you had a blast out as well. Looking forward to next week. Real quick, where are you at, Shanku? One more time.
I'll be in Dallas, man. Huge event down in Dallas, 6 locations within the city. A lot of good basketball across the country going to be played, so I'm excited for sure.
Oh, I'm pumped. I am going. No, I'm kidding. I was trying to do the Cali. I've been thinking about what I want to do all night long, but nah, we don't got time. I'm going to Cali. I'm pumped. Gonna see some great people. Gonna work with some great people as always. Gonna see some great hoops. I'm excited, man. Looking forward to another packed show next week. It's been so much fun. But listen, y'all, thank everyone here for rocking, as always, with us. Shout out to every guest that we had on. It was a blast, whether we talking, Chris, obviously, having on Larry Golden, either we had on
Xavion,
Larry Porter, Xavion, Nick, Aiden, everybody.
Yeah, everyone.
Everybody.
We just want to talk ball, so thank you guys for joining us.
Exactly, man. And listen, y'all, for Shanku, for myself, we're Frosty. Y'all stay frosty. We'll talk to y'all next week. All right, y'all.
Peace.